Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Mike Bass, and today I'll be checking out the Bass Gang's latest release, Boulevard of Broken Dreams, originally by Green Day. Now, I grew up listening to a lot of punk rock when I was younger, so Green Day, The Offspring, Blink-182, many others were all part of my listening experience growing up. So I'm very familiar with this song. It's going to be interesting to see what a bass version of this song is going to sound like. Although, judging by the cover, the thumbnail here that I'm looking at, they're really belting out notes here, so maybe there's going to be a lot more highs than there actually is lows. Are they going for kind of heavier rock sound to this? Who knows? Let's just dive in and see what the Bass Gang have got for us with Green Day's Boulevard of Broken Dreams. Here we go.
I walk a lonely road, the only one that I have ever known. I walk alone, I walk alone. I walk a lonely road, the only one that I have ever known. Don't know.
Okay, before we go any further, as the song has actually started now from what we would know and remember, so the Green Day version starts straight away with that I walk a lonely road, the only one that I have ever known, and just carries on. They started very differently with all sorts going on. It started with the first line as though they're going to start the song, but then they did a lot of other things before going into the song.
I walk a lonely road, the only one that I have ever known.
So you think it's just going to carry on like this as he started the first verse here, but he hasn't. He's just doing the first bit of the first verse, and then he starts slowing it down towards the end. I have never known. And then you get all kinds of sounds. There's some low notes in there. I think by looks, there's so many voices on the screen here, but from the looks of it, they're all each doing a sort of low down there. But there's also a lot of high notes going on as well. There's a lot of sounds being made here. In fact, you've even got Peter doing a very operatic sound in the background as well there. I think in the middle to the left here, that Peter is doing a very operatic sound. But yeah, a lot of things happening. You do hear in the background as well, I think that's the main heads at the top doing that And I'm not sure who does that into the start there. It might have been Tommy. It might have been multiple voices doing that, but nice touch.
I walk a lonely road, the only one that I have ever known. Don't know where it goes, but it's home to me, and I walk alone. I walk this empty street on the boulevard of broken dreams, where the city sleeps and I'm the only one, and I walk alone. I walk alone, I walk alone. I walk alone, I walk alone.
Okay, before we get into the chorus, so that's the first verse in its full. A lot of things going on there, especially in the background, but I like the percussion, which I think is being done by Marwin here. It might be Marwin throughout, but they might change it. I know they've changed percussion sometimes, and like Peter's done bits and stuff like that, but Marwin took the lead on percussion on this one for this bit. There was a lot going on. someone did like a guitar sound towards the end, I think, unless that was actually a guitar. It was hard to tell. But so it starts here. Marwyn, Bobby. I think they all take a little bit of the first verse, which is nice. All singing super low in their bassy chest voices. I walk a lonely road, the only one that I have ever known. They're all singing very low in chesty bass voices.
That I have ever known. Don't know where it goes, but it's home to me, and I walk.
Great diction as well on a lot of these vocals. Not just singing like, I mean, it's that kind of song anyway that you do tend to overpronounce, but there's a lot of really good diction in these vocals. So it's home to me and I walk alone. You know what I mean? It's not just, it's home to me and I walk alone. It's not like that. They're really overpronouncing everything. And then they all do a sort of dum 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 dum. And then I think on Marwyn's, when he comes in for the dum dum, I think there is a slight that, but it goes into the drums, into the percussion. Very nice.
I walk this empty street on the boulevard of broken dreams, where the city sleeps and I'm the only one, and I walk alone. I walk alone, I walk alone.
So there, in the background, that you hear, is someone doing that vocally? It might be enhanced in some way. It might, I don't know, they might have put some effects on that to make it sound that good. But you let me know if that's actually an instrument or if someone's doing that vocally. I think someone's doing it vocally. But it's a nice touch. It almost goes unnoticed, but very nice.
I walk alone, I walk up. My shadow's only one that walks beside me. My shallow heart's the only thing that's beating. Sometimes I wish someone out there will find me. Till then I walk alone.
Okay. Again, often with these bass gang songs, there's a lot of vocals happening. You see the amount of heads on the screen at different times here. They put a lot of effort into the arrangement sides of these songs, and we're here for it. But it can often be hard to hear everything that happens in the background. There's a lot to pick out. There was clearly some, because only when the main vocals ended did you sort of hear that it droned on for a little bit longer, so you could tell that there was something else happening, but you don't tend to hear it otherwise. But there was clearly a low happening at some point there, which just went slightly longer than the main vocals ending. So someone was on a super low rumble there, maybe fry or sub. It's hard to tell. But also, just the Green Day version, right? I used to, obviously, I said that I grew up listening to Green Day singing this. As I've got older, I've sort of realised that he had a kind of weird voice, Billy Joe Armstrong, the lead singer of Green Day. It's nice to hear their songs sung by another type of voice. So even at this chorus, they're not singing low, so it's not like a bass voice doing it, but you can clearly hear that sort of weight and belting and clear vocals that Bobby is doing here in this chorus. My shadows only. It's nice to hear that instead of my shallow heart's the only thing that's beating. You know what I mean? It's that twang that Billy Joe Armstrong had at Green Day was a little weird in a way. Like it worked for the time, and obviously he's a punk rock band and everything like this. But it's nice to hear it sung a lot clearer and better in a way. And not better as in like I'm dissing his sound, but it was a little weird. You know what I mean? Whereas this is very, very clear and very nice vocals.
Only thing that's beating. Sometimes I wish someone out there will find me. Till then I I'm walking down the line that divides me somewhere in my mind, on the borderline of the edge and where I walk alone.
I'll just pause briefly for that moment and we'll go back and hear the rest of it. But that was a nice touch that Peter did there. Instead of just singing it normally, he changed that I walk alone and did that sort of mini run thing. That was very nice.
Walk alone. Read between the lines, what's messed up and everything's alright. Check my vital signs to know I'm still alive and I walk up. My shadow's the only one that walks beside me. My shallow heart's the only thing that's beating. Sometimes I wish someone up there will find me. Till then I walk alone.
So again, at this bit, that we're getting someone going really down low, and I don't know who's doing it, but it adds a lot of weight to the background. I love the subtle changes they've done here. So I love the fact that instead of just singing it like it was, because it is kind of a repetitive song in the fact that I think Green Day sing it very much the same way all the way through. They might add like a little bit of grit towards the end and stuff like that, but it's pretty much that same vocals all the way through. I walk a lonely road, the only one that I have ever. You know what I mean? And then the chorus, and then same again. You know, there's no changes in the way they're singing it, like when Peter did before, and Tommy's done a couple there in that bit, and very nice, subtle changes, but it keeps it interesting. This is like the updated version of the song that we all needed. Oh, and I also wanted to mention the read between the lines bit was very different as well. Like, that wasn't just changing the way they sing it, that was just a completely different section all of a sudden. Like, everything dropped out and it was just them on the screen doing that read between the lines somewhere higher, I think, like in that sort of range there, going read between the lines of what's messed up and everything's alright, sort of doing that real stare, like the horror thing that they do. That was a very interesting section that they decided to do that bit like that, but it works, gives you that sort of break from everything else that's happening that's been continuous up to this point, and then go straight back into it again. I love that. Very nice touch. Judging by the head movements there, it might be Peter doing it in Fry. So, he's doing sort of like that on a bass line.
I walk this empty street on the boulevard of broken dreams, where the city sleeps and I'm the only one and I walk alone. I walk this empty street on the boulevard of broken dreams, where the city sleeps and I'm the only one and I walk alone. I walk this empty street on the boulevard of broken dreams, where the city sleeps and I'm the only one and I walk alone. I walk this empty street on the boulevard of broken dreams, where the city sleeps and I'm the only
What is going on? Okay. That whole section just officially broke me. What? Right. So, yeah. Uh, so, that's what I was talking about. Changing it up. Yeah. So, what I love that they did that. That section was amazing. So many questions though. So I've always enjoyed how we don't talk about Bruno, you know, the song from Encanto. They do that sort of thing where they're all singing a different bit of the song over each other. So you get that sort of overlapped vocals thing, and it sounds really good when done right. Bass Gang have done a version of that song and did that at the end as well, kept that true to the original, because that was one of the best bits about that song. So, and it worked really well. And I always love it when songs do that sort of overlapped vocals or singing different words. And they've done it here, which I did not expect. And it worked so well, but there are some questions. What on earth were the others singing? Now, Marwan starts with the words that I know from the song. I walk this empty street on the boulevard of broken dreams, where the city sleeps and I'm the only one, and I walk alone. I walk, and he just keeps going and going and going like that. Then Tommy comes in and he sings something that I am not familiar with. I don't think those words were in the Green Day song. Then Peter comes in and starts singing something else, and I don't think those were in the Green Day song. And then Bobby does the same. And again, I don't think those were in the Green. So what are these vocals? Are these lyrics that they've written new for this song? If so, then that's a bold move, but it worked really well. I can't quite hear the full lyrics that the others are singing. I think Peter was saying something like, "Come be with me, we'll be friends for eternity," something like that. I think let's just hear, see if we can get some.
I walk this empty street on the boulevard of broken dreams, where the city sleeps and I'm the only one, and I walk alone. I walk this empty street on the boulevard of broken dreams, where the city sleeps and I'm the only one, and I walk alone.
Okay, that was very stretched out, I think, but it was something like, I walk all alone. I think like the all, I think was stretched out. I walk all alone. And then he sort of says something like, until you running inside me. That makes no sense. I don't know. Something like that. And then Peter comes in with, okay, so Peter's lyrics, I think, are more referring to the vocals in the lyrics in the song. So, say, walk with me and we'll be friends for all eternity. Look at me and you'll see something about broken dreams. Something like that. I can hear more of Peter's than I can of Tommy's. But the more voices you get, the harder it is. Bobby's is going to be very difficult to know what he's saying here. There, I didn't get any of that after that. He starts off with like, "You walking with me," and then who knows what was said after that. I'm sure people have the lyrics. Obviously, the Bass Gang will know what they sang. Thank goodness he's doing actions. So obviously something to do with sleeps and all sorts. I don't know. And then Marwyn is just going to go off on this one, which we love when Marwyn adds that grit and rock vocals in his voice. And this is perfect time to do that. It's getting towards the climax of the song. I'm pretty sure in the original Green Day version, Billy Joe does add a little bit of grit in his vocals towards the end, I think. If I remember rightly, it does pick up a bit, and the bass gang are doing the same thing here. Marvin sounds amazing doing it.
Where the city sleeps and I'm the only one and I walk my shadow's the only one that walks beside me. My shallow heart.
That there was so good. My shallow. How does he add that sort of sound so well there?
The only thing that's beating. Sometimes I wish someone out there will find me. Till then I walk alone. Oh,
What? Okay, that was epic. That surpassed all expectations. I had good expectations coming in of how they might do this song, but I did not expect anything of what they threw in this. Wow.
sometimes I wish someone out there will find me. Till then I walk alone. Oh, yeah.
First of all, you got the really high from Marwyn, and then Tommy comes in and does that even higher, which that's just outrageous that someone can do that without whistling, like without literally just going or something like that, without literally just whistling. Someone going that high, you can see how his mouth's open. That's insane when you're a bass singer to do that. Absolutely insane. That's a high note. I'm pretty sure 6th octave. Yeah, that's got to be 6th octave. That's high, really high.
And I walk alone. Oh, yeah.
You could see in the background there as well, just before this ending, when they're all going, all of these weird vocals and everything like that, and Marwan's just in the background, just hands to the head, like he's having a breakdown, and then right at the end, it comes out that to the screen. Yeah, very weird but amazing version of this song. I didn't expect. I don't know what I expected, but I didn't expect that. Now we're just getting isolated background, like a karaoke version. Nice bass line. Yeah. I mean, what was that? Sorry if I paused a lot during this song, but it was always going to happen with a bass gang song because there's so much happening vocally in the background and at the forefront. I do try and analyze these songs, so I'm trying to pick out as much as I possibly can, but there was so much happening that I'm sure I missed bits. I will have to listen to this quite a few times, mainly because it was just so epic. Like, this is how you do an a cappella cover of a song. Like, everything was perfect. And at this point, they're just showing off with the range and everything. It's bad enough that they're doing these bass vocals and bass lines and stuff, and then also going like belting like my shadows on, really belting out, as well as doing those bass vocals. That's bad enough. But then you've got like Marwin and Tommy and everyone going right up there. Like six. That those notes from Tommy are insane. He's got some range to be able to do super low chest bass vocals and get it into the 6th octave like that. That's insane. But yeah, that was amazing. They absolutely smashed this. Everything about it was epic. The video, I like the fact that it was just them in black. It's a very Halloween type feel, which is great for the season, even though it's not a Halloween song by any means, but they made it that sort of way. It was that very emo-y vibe to it. They're all wearing black and black eye makeup and everything, and it's just them on screen. I like that. I like the fact that it was basic video in terms of that. Not obviously basic as in what they did in the video, because there was a lot happening in the video, but in terms of look, I like the fact that they kept it basic like that and didn't go like for background sets and weird clothes and all that sort of stuff happening differently. They could have done a lot of different things with the looks, but I like the fact that they kept it like that all the way through. Really nice job. This has been a long one, guys. This is a long reaction. I will end it there, but as always, I'll link the original video in the description. Go show the Bass Gang some love. They are amazing at what they do. This was an epic song, one of their best by far. I mean, I'm biased because I like the song, but still, this is better than the Green Day version, in my opinion. So, well done, guys. Well done. Go show them some love. Feel free to give me a like and subscribe if you like the channel, and I'll keep bringing you more content. But bye for now.